I just realised I really need to change that intro and update it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just
I need to put koala on there for Tim or something.
koala.
How is everyone?
I'd rather not. They're riddled with chlamydia, I believe. So.
Can't exactly have a
Well, you
wallaby.
were in the Navy.
Oh.
Yeah. Can't have a wallaby because John had hit you with his car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just look like a baby John. He's a kangaroo. Yeah. So, what have you guys been up to over the weekend?
Filming, shooting, trying to organise everything. There's a crazy amount of stuff that arrived while I was away. So yeah, shooting some box openings. The new Uma Hobby Harrier, which is gorgeous, absolutely stunning. Mm-hmm. The new Dornier 217 from ICM, which is lovely as well, which is huge, very big aeroplane. What else am I doing? I'm just trying to catch up, actually. I'm just trying to catch up with the black hole in my content that was created by going away for 3 weeks, basically.
You had
knowing that in...
you had a very interesting parcel as well today, didn't you?
Well, yeah, once a day. It was the other day I had a parcel full of stuff and eight identical things, and kind of feel like I've got, and also spiders, loads of plastic spiders. What medication is this man on? Can I just ask?
I knew about it. He actually asked me if you had arachnophobia before he did it.
Because it is definitely psychoactive. Whatever he is huffing or taking in tablet form under medical advice, dude is on another world, really. Yeah, so box.
To be fair, he did ask me if you had arachnophobia before he did it.
Spiders. Spiders. Lots of plastic spiders. And am I allowed to show these?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, 8 of these.
There we go.
Strand Beast kits.
So that will be a future build.
That's like 2/3 of a squadron.
Yeah.
Do I get is there a decal sheet? I can give them individual numbers or something. Anyway, yeah, so somehow I've got to figure out where all these go. Obviously, I keep one for myself.
Yeah.
So you need to at least give me some clues about what's going on with all of these, and
I will do.
Redistribute them. Because do you know what? I haven't got anything else to do.
I shall put my people into your people, Gary.
Excellent, fantastic. Anyway, so yeah, so 8 Strand Beast have arrived. So that's
we devised that little plot whilst you were away.
Very kind of you. Very, very kind of you. Because I'm not under any stress at all after a holiday. And with another holiday looming and being off 3 days next week to go to my granddaughter's graduation, everything's fine. I'll just sit here smiling manically for the next 2 hours. Honestly, everything's fine. Everything really is fine. Absolutely fine. No, I had this tick before I went away. Hey, g'day, John.
G'day,
John.
Hello.
Ahoy.
How
are all y'all?
No, nobody cares who you are, Tim. How are you?
I'm well.
Good.
I'm well. Nothing much to report, although I had a barrage of packages arrive at my door this morning.
Are they strand beasts?
Wouldn't you know it? No. No. I did, however, get some Mr. Surfacer 500 and some more sanding sticks. So that's good. And then also some photo etch for an upcoming build. So
I received a delivery today. Do you want to see?
Go on.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's shiny. There's
That
shiny.
And That one.
Ooh. Wow, she's done well.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
I think I haven't got mine yet. I was expecting mine to be in the mail by now. It's been a week.
well, that's because you're Australian.
Yeah.
In a minute, once we've got settled in, Nia, bless her little cotton socks, she's only 9. She has done a presentation to explain who she's chosen and why.
Wonderful.
Oh,
Cool.
fantastic.
It's a 6-minute video, so we'll play it in a minute once we get settled in. For those that don't know who Nia is, she is the youngest member of the channel. She's only 9 years old, and she's from Belgium. She's Dieter's daughter. So some of the pronunciation in her words is a little bit off, but you got to remember that she's 9 years old, and English is probably her 4th language because she speaks other languages.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Fair.
9 years old. That's impressive.
I have enough trouble with English.
Yeah, that's because you're Australian.
Yeah. Come on, be fair.
There's your one freebie. The next one will cost you.
Yeah, in a minute we'll play that. So, John, the
Hello.
latecomer, the one
Hello.
that time for his own funeral. How are you?
Good, thank you. Yeah.
You
Had a
gonna
good
come?
weekend. Went down to Campbelltown, south west of Sydney, for a family do, extended family. It was her 50th wedding anniversary. Met up with Tim's sister and niece and all that sort of stuff, and Tim's mum. In fact, we're all sitting at the same table having copious amounts of. Well, I didn't have copious amounts. I was driving, but all having bits of bubbly and stuff. It was really lovely.
I wasn't
Bubbly,
invited.
bubbly.
And yesterday morning, it was an impromptu, I guess, a cooked breakfast at my in-laws. Part of the reason is one of them is joining. Oh, he's joined the Australian Air Force. He's off to recruit training next week. He's going to be a carpenter. He's already a carpenter, but he's going to be a uniform carpenter. So we'll see how that goes. And the base where he's most likely going to be, which is RAF Base Richmond, where I was for about 15 years, is 100 years old today. So happy birthday, Richmond. And that's about it. That's all you get. Apart from that, yeah, just been doing a slight bit of modelling.
Slight bit of modelling.
Well, it's big. I haven't been doing too much, so I've just been filling in gaps and whatnot. So I'll just change my camera over. This is the.
Oh boy, that's coming along.
Yeah, so the FX Victor B2 BS is coming along. It's mainly together. I'm just going around filling in all little panel lines, gaps, and stuff like that. So they're coming along neatly. There was a gap at the back of the blue steel mount where the bomb bay doors used to be. That's been filled with little plastic card and sort of rubbed back. And all as I say, I'm just going around gaps, just filling in a smear of white stuff to alleviate the little gappages.
Excellent.
And it's coming along nicely. Very enjoyable.
Well done, buddy.
I just love the fact that in this day and age of stealth and have glass and you still have requirements for military carpenters.
Yeah, it's sort of weird because there weren't any when I joined
Brilliant.
up, but we weren't
I
at
love
war.
it.
So they when we went to war, they realised, oh crap, who's going to build all our stuff? So American contractors? Oh no, we'll have to. So they stood up plumbers, carpenters, electricians again at the start of, say, the Iraq-Afghan war, and they haven't found the need to fire them again since, which is odd. So I don't know what work he's going to do.
That's great.
Hopefully it'll be like, if it was restoring things like Sopwith pups and stuff like that, yeah, bring it on. But they won't be doing that. It'll just be like
that'd be a cabinet maker, not a carpenter.
Yeah,
it's definitely cabinet making.
Last night I created the thumbnail for our Tuesday build, John, that's coming up. Do you want to see it?
Oh yes,
that's it.
Oh.
John, I think Gary will appreciate this one.
Okay. It's just Terence and Philip.
Thumbs up.
Oh,
Very nice.
Well played. That's a good one.
John as Marley and Mikey as Beardy. I'll get you, butler. That's cool.
Sorry about making you Blakey, Gary, but you're the only one in a suit.
It doesn't bother me on for two reasons. Firstly, I've never been offended by anyone wearing a suit. Secondly, my dear late father was for many years a conductor on the London bus network, and my dear late uncle was a bus driver for many years with London Transport. So I'm not at all offended. There you go.
Excellent. Fantastic.
That's cool.
Yeah. It was quite fun doing that.
Very good.
There you go.
Very good.
So why is ZZ
Tickets,
Top on the
please.
bus and not you, Mikey?
Sorry?
Why was ZZ Top on the bus and not you?
That was me before I cut my beard, mate. There we go. Right. Quickly get through the comments while you guys get started. And God, Gary and Bob have been talking again. GM says, me too. Waiting for the clock to go ding. Very good. Junior says, I'll miss today due to a hospital appointment. Regular MOT, so no drama. There we go.
Good.
Kick the tires. Check all your nuts are tight.
Are you wanting
All
me
6
to?
hours count the wings.
Are you want me
Sorry,
to skip any or not?
I'll leave that up to you. I'll read out whatever you put up.
Okay.
Oh, silly boy. Silly boy.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
No, I'll go down because they're talking to different people.
See, not my fault. I didn't choose that. Bob says, I noticed that the YouTube personal identifier system is still foobar. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Still a bit worried about that, as it happened shortly after I messed about changing my image. That wouldn't affect it. GM says, all the best, Julian. Why the MOT? Are you classified as a vehicle? GM says, Bobby, it's your fault now. You touched the controls. Oops. And he says, Bobby, maybe the strange beast is a different category. Are you in the endangered list? Hello, everyone joining in. I have a double pack of Tim Tams on standby, waiting for standby for action by the bearded one and team. Yay. Bob, worryingly, it's hot enough here to melt the chocolate on my wagon wheels. It is. Is it imagination, or are they smaller than they used to be? Yeah, they are.
Definitely
they are
smaller.
Of course
much
they're smaller. Shrinkflation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jim says the chocolates are smaller these days, Bob. Cost more, give less. Capital greed. Yeah. Bob says, so true, but why does my equator keep expanding? I think that's called age and chocolate. GM says, heat does that. I've got the same problem here. Ha ha ha. Bob, I've also heard that spinning around can cause the oblate sphere effect. So, Gary, which of us is getting dizzy faster? I think, Bob, you're permanently dizzy, mate. He says, looking down, probably me. Jim says, oh, maybe if we rotate at 1,000 miles per hour, we will expand. My best speed was 21 mile an hour. Bob, if we contra-rotate, will we expand without getting dizzy? Interesting philosophical problem. What? Second problem, how long can you keep going before BBC decides to bypass us? Not my choice. GM says, seriously, I doubt I can turn both ways at once. Might break something. Jim says, think BBC is laughing at us right now. Yes, I was.
Yeah.
Jim's in. He says, hello to all the usual suspects in chat. Hello, Jim.
Hi, Jim.
Bob, at least somebody's getting amused. Jim, greetings to our gracious host. Hello, sir. Dorcosaurus, hello, everyone. Hello, Dorcosaurus. Do you need a nurse? Matthew says, afternoon, folks. Bob says, everybody else modifying the ST. Shut the F for John meme. GM says, good day, Jim. Joe says, good afternoon, morning, and even to all. Hope you all had a great weekend. How's the weather across the pond? Sunny and warm and humid.
Cold
Yeah,
and
it's
wet.
too hot. I think at like 9 o'clock this morning, it was 27 degrees.
Mm.
And it has absolutely no right being that temperature.
Has it started raining there yet, Tim?
Yeah, just a bit drizzle.
Yeah. So there's a big low off the east coast of Australia right now, in between where Tim and I are, and they're predicting floods where I am again.
Yeah,
Oh,
This
you
is all
better,
still
you better get your
saturated
rubber
from last
boat
time.
out, aren't you?
Oh, you're not wrong. Yeah.
yeah. Because
Well,
we're
we're-
southern hemisphere, that tail is going to lash out and smash John again, and I'll just have a little bit of breeze, just like the last cyclone we had.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
John will open his garage door and just be a load of wallabies sat on his front lawn looking at him. And he'll think they're getting their revenge.
It's another day in Ramo. Yeah.
If one of those ones where he opens his door, looks at them, they all look at him and he just slowly closes the door without breaking eye contact.
Yep.
Jim says, hello all. Hello, Jim. Duke says, good day, all you beautiful people. Off to work now. Hopefully catch you all soon. Cool. Bob says, hey, hail to all the usual suspects who find us suspicious. Phil, afternoon, everyone. Hello, Phil. Julian, ambulance transport late again. I'll give him a ring. Dorksaurus says, be right back. Need a coffee? Jim says, blimey, Dorksaurus in the house so early. I'm impressed.
It's becoming
David,
a thing.
yeah. David says, hello all.
Hello, David.
Jim says, an hour wait time. Stuff that. Callback requested. Mind you, in an hour, they'll have missed the appointment time. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And he says, I speak three languages, English, gibberish, and profanity. Technically, only one actual language.
Profanity.
Tasha's in. She says, hi, everyone. Hello, Tasha.
Oi,
Oh,
Yeah.
Kieran says, hi, everyone. Hello, Kieran. Hobby Time says, hi, guys. Hello, Hobby Time. Bob says, military carpenters to build dog houses for miscreants.
Sorry, I can't stop yawning. I do apologise.
That's because you're getting old. Kieran says, hi, Jim. Hope all's well. Do you know what? I'm sort of getting calm for that, doing that all the time. Pointing out that you and Mr. Morris are old. Because my daughter does it every time I speak to her now.
Welcome.
And then I remind her
old
that,
age.
then I remind her that she's only 17 years behind me. GM says, I noticed the red dragons has wide eyes. High on something, maybe? The lion's goggles are fogged over. Jim says, on a bicycle ride yesterday morning, a man passed me wearing a jersey with the Welsh dragon on it. I called out, hurrah for Wales. I bet he looked at it, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
Jim says, or fell off his bike. Jim says, Kieran, yes, Kieran, all is good. The bloody heat wave continues. Julian, oi, you leave my nuts alone, Mikey. They're reserved for medical professionals. Think that sounds so wrong. Yeah. And he says, if you contra-rotate, you'll either become a pretzel or disappear up your own ass. Jim says, Bob, I think I had a teacher named Miscreant. Oh, dear.
Nice.
Got through him quick.
Yay.
Yeah, rip
Let's give like hellos to each other because,
Yeah. Do we want to see Nia's announcement of the Nia the Space Huntress Awards?
Would love to.
Yeah.
Cool. If modders can bring that up for us.
I can. Oh, shoot.
Like I said, it's a 6-minute video, so just bear with it. It's dead sweet, to be fair. I've watched it. It's lovely. She did really well. Here we go. Away we go, modders.
Good evening, everyone. Yeah, I'll buy getting. But better creators. Oh yeah, that the Space Hunters Award. Yeah. What is the award about? Let's say about it. I need to inspire and to get a great sale to build an insurance. Awarded by the youngest baby. See, member, a sign of gratitude of for inspiring intern Nia and all the youngsters. My criteria. Love something vivid and lively. Here. Add a surprising element. Show activity. Showing. Show. Demonstrate a senior skill. Provide a sign of having firm. Inspiring intern. POR. Especially decide the figure of the Space Huntress and White and Gold Dragon. Giving a plus. 30 seconds and first play. Let's begin them. And then
Sound's gone modest.
F9, F4. A fighter aircraft fighting not to crash while in flames is always difficult the topic to bring to life. Having seen great fighter fears this one to catch the eye, for example, to the point and not lost in blazing term also. The reality is a battle for lost and a right won in turn. Second place goes to Airfix 172 and P35 Lightning 2. Knowing a bit about fighter aircraft, seeing them once in gradually setting is very unusual. I don't know why it catches my eye, and what a nice touch to bring out the Atheron members and good love in a very creative way. Well, I don't really like grey aircraft, this one shows colorful in a nice way. First place, Crystal. Epic 143 Bugatti Aquarium. I actually love this car. It has nice lines, offers a lot of possible finish. While mine was very playful assume. The cool blue livery and the mustache give it a splendid look that I won't admire in real life. What? What? And your mother made this one? Wow, good rule.
Cool.
What was one was my dad and envy. But I had a lot of fun seeing the entire and I'm happy I could participate. Even if the topic is not in my cup of tea, as I do a lot of figures instead. Yeah. Instead it was nice to be able to let myself go on a model. My dad is very more experimental, but still tries to keep things simple and not to go into some of the more interesting stuff. Just have fun, and if you win a award, all the better. But as you can do about with any style or take any topic with some excitement, I always answer in the show. Was he's among the winners? Let's find out. Oh, okay, literally let me surprise. Let's see the story about it. Wow, I knew he would pick a plane as he likes them more than cars, and as he already did, and boys, that really looks good. I will have that it will be something like this. I was kind of hoping he did the other F-35. It will be so like my dad, but no, he got me so on the back foot. because I had no idea what to build. I really like that he was able to surprise me and showing me like any modeler has still messed this example about in a positive way. And yet I should have known he never does anything without putting his own twist to it. If not, it looks enormous and as I saw the one sitting on the edge before, I am really happy he still got me surprised. Not to mention the base. I have all the plans like that. After all, well done that. Getting up last week because we didn't much. Congratulations to all work participated. Anyway, nice evening and good with the finish and bye.
Well done, Nia. How sweet was
great.
that?
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
Sweet.
There you go. So well done to Tim, Matt, and Tiff. You'll be getting
Yeah.
those stickers.
Cool.
Hey.
Another one to add to the ones I've just bought.
I should have just told you sooner, and then you could have just bought your own.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Tim, I'll send yours down to John, and he can pass it on to you.
Yep.
I've already got it.
Awesome. I think that'll be my
Now-
first sticker.
I'll
There you go.
I need to grab something from the house. I'll be back in a moment.
Well, actually, you get two because you get the competition winner one as well.
My first 2 stickers.
Yeah. Matt, I'll put yours in with your prize, mate. So we've had a few comments come in whilst that was on.
Yep.
Julian says ambulance has arrived. Hello, Julian. David says, "Okay, take care, Julian." Kevin's in. Says, "Good day, everyone." Hello, Kevin. Jim says, "A wee bit of input. I like the streamlined comment reading." There we go. Jem says, "Well done, Nia. Well, what were we all doing when we were age 9? I was building models. Yeah." Jim says, "Take care, Julian." Matthew is clapping, I think. That's
Yeah.
clap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is, yeah.
Well done, Matthew. Jim says, "At age 9, I was being my usual uncooperative self and spending most of my time away from other people." Don't know why I was doing it at 9. Aaron's in. He says, "Hello all, very good winner." Hi, Aaron. Welcome to the channel, buddy.
Is that not Aaron, though? Or is that someone else?
I don't know. Possibly. This is the problem with what they've
Yeah,
done.
it's Aaron Bill.
There you go. Gary says, "Jim, most kids building models are like that, quite happy alone." I wasn't even building models and I was happy alone. I'm a quite an antisocial person. Jim says, "Very impressive, Nia. Very well spoken young lady." Yeah, especially when you consider that, like I said, that's probably her 4th language, because I know she speaks French, German, she's learning German, and she speaks Flemish as well.
Yeah, no, that's amazing.
9 years old is seriously impressive.
Mm.
And she's learning computer coding as well.
Jeez.
Joe says, "Great presentation there." Yeah, it was lovely. I enjoyed it. That's me talking to Aaron. No. Aaron says, no, David says, "That was cool. Well done, Nia. And the ones you picked for your awards, again, well done." Yeah. Matthew says, "Nia, thank you. Great presentation." And Aaron says, "Hi. Yeah, I'm here. Hello, all. I'm Aaronville." There we go.
Yeah, but
Now
just a quick thing. You know how Bob was saying that when he changed his picture and that all the names and stuff went funny?
yes.
I'm noticing that as well. Because if you look, Jim's just used to be Jim Aldergott. Now it's got numbers after it.
Yeah, what it's done is they've all changed to the YouTube handles, channel handles.
Yeah. I don't like it.
I don't like it, but it's in the chat as well. So it's a YouTube thing.
Yeah, no. It's just really annoying.
I just don't want Bob thinking that he's to blame.
Sorry,
'Cause
I
I'll-
can't hear. I don't like it with the accent without thinking of Little Britain.
I don't like that one.
I don't
I
like
like
it.
that one. Don't like it. No. Right, should we get on with? John's back. Everyone go away. Dominic's in. He says,
mate.
afternoon. Hello, Dominic.
Hello, Dominic.
Yeah. So, what were you getting, John?
Oh, I had to check the letterbox to see if there were stickers in there because it started
Oh.
raining. I didn't want it to get too wet there. We're not.
Did they deliver stickers at night time where you were?
I was out today. I was doing stuff. I was out all day. I only just remembered when you mentioned stickers. I went, oh, I haven't checked the letterbox.
Yeah.
There was nothing.
See, I get paranoid if I know I've got decals in the post. Like I'm always worried that water's going to get in the letterbox and
Yeah.
I'm just going to get a mess.
See,
Well,
we
that
don't
happened
have
to
that
me.
problem here.
Yeah. Why? You don't have
We
mail?
don't have letterboxes. They just put them through the door.
Or into our house, which is dry.
Yeah.
Oh,
Animals.
Animals.
Yeah. There's no animals. There's no rain.
How uncouth. How
Spiders that
weird.
can kill you.
Jeez. What's the point of
No
living if you don't
snakes.
have to box redback spiders to get your
Well-
bills?
Oh, to be fair, I can kind of see the point in
True.
Australia because a snake could probably easily slide through a letterbox or something.
just one?
Yeah.
Hmm. No, it's fine. Usually, we have to get on the, ride on mower or whatever to make it to the letterbox. But
What, like the water boy?
I haven't seen that.
I
So
can just
yeah,
see
why
you
not?
doing that, John.
No idea what you're talking about.
I
That is
like
a
football.
great film.
Oh, right. Fumbling into the box, the stuff. He finds undercarriage. I'm going to be doing a bit more photo etch during this session. Boxing in the undercarriage, main undercarriage. Like it is. Well, like it that. I'll show you in a sec. H.
So I got this dude pretty much finished up as well.
Yeah. Oh, let's zoom in on that, Tim.
That was your prize, wasn't it, Tim?
You. So,
Oh, cool.
Oh, and it's hinged as well. Nice.
yeah. So it all
That's so
kind of
cool.
Very cool.
opens up and stuff. So
That's super cool.
yeah. Obviously, I'm so white that I'm throwing off the balance here, but
You're obviously one of those few Australians that never leave the house.
yeah, no, I worked out at a very early age that the son and I aren't friends. So
Lucky having
yeah,
a daughter
well-
then.
yeah, right. Well, it looks much better when the thing isn't completely washed out, so I'll try and work out what's going on with that. But yeah, no, look, tried a couple new things. So yeah, first time sort of trying rust and using chipping medium and stuff like that. I'm pretty happy with the results. So yeah,
It looks good, mate.
yeah, sort of.
Really cool. Really cool.
27.
But yeah,
John's learning to count.
that's that.
Oh, did you hear that? It's a good microphone.
Yes. You said 27.
Right next to your
I
mouth.
did.
And it does sort of open up more, but it's a lot better if the bloke inside is sculpted to have arms.
Yeah.
Because the way he is at the moment, they would be plugged in. But yeah, it's a cool little thingy, and I had a lot of fun building it.
Good.
Great result.
Thank you.
Oh, and so Tamiya Corsair there, Tim, is that correct?
Yes. Yep. That's what I'm working on now.
Dorkosaurus says, hi, Dom. GM says, Mikey, Tiff, the channel members with numbers has been running like that for quite some time. It's not new to me. Yeah, it's annoying. David says, that's so cool, Tim.
Thank you.
Aaronville says, me again. Have all the winners been announced? Yeah. So Nia picked Tim for her third place, Matthew for a second place, and Tiff's build for her first place. There
Well
we go.
deserved.
Yeah. And Modders has got her first ever modelling award.
Yeah.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you.
Jim says, John, you waiting a week for an item in the post? Daughter said she hasn't seen a second letter from you with the Mirage serial numbers. Did you forget? Hint, hint.
These ones? Yeah.
I'll be
All right. I'm doing stuff tomorrow. Yeah.
Aaronville says, I've changed my handle to @Aaronville. Yeah, there we go.
There you go. So you just got to change it back then.
Yeah, I've changed mine to @BV Creates. Jim says, hello, Dominic. Hello. David says, yes, congrats, Tiff.
Thank you. Looking forward to that sticker.
Is that going to have pride of place, is it?
Yeah, well,
On
I haven't started putting any stickers on my A1 mat, which is
Yeah.
underneath this one. So it'll go right in the middle.
Nice. Anvil says, congrats all. Maybe I should see the restart to see the winners. I just now joined when the young lad won. The young lad will be Timmy, who's 30 years old.
30 is young.
Oh, I feel old, if that makes a difference.
I would say you're as old as the woman you feel, but my wife's older than me, so I'm not going to say that.
All right. So what I'm going to be playing with this sesh is the undercarriage, the main undercarriage struts and downlocks for the Victor. So apart from
Yes.
sticking them all together, then it's a matter of copying that. This is the Edward upgrade set for the exterior. Matter of getting the diagonal strut, shaving it all away, and boxing it in for lots of photo etch. Another bits around the base and stuff. These won't be going on the plane until it's all painted up, but it almost, apart from a couple of antenna, it would finish off the detail upgrade set. So I'll carry on with that.
Excellent, John. Very good.
We occasionally talk about modelling on this channel.
Yes, we do. We do occasionally do some. Only very occasionally, though.
I'm trying to think what I want to do today.
There are many suggestions, not all of which can be mentioned on lives.
You
Well,
mentioned photo etch arrived, Tim. What was that for? Can
Upcoming
you tell
build.
us? Okay.
So it's a secret.
Yeah.
Oh well, I don't think it is a secret. I think we told everyone last week, didn't we?
The Yag.
Ah,
Yes.
yes.
So yeah, that came for me today. So
Nice. Oh, I tell you what, did land in my inbox yesterday. Speaking of the Yag, the STL file for the ammunition and the gun barrel that Columbus Models has designed for us. So
Wonderful.
that was very impressive when you showed that.
yeah,
He knocked it up quick sticks, didn't he?
yeah. Well, he needed some measurements off me because our kit's different to the one he had, slightly different. So I did all the measurements of that for him. So he finished knocking up the barrel yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I'll have my homework cut out for me because this is my first bit of photo etch. So yeah, we'll see me either succeed really well or fail miserably. But we'll work that out together.
Yeah.
It is a bit.
Rich is in. He says, "Hi, how is everyone doing? We are well, Rich. Thank you."
Well, I'm not well rich
well.
myself. I'm well, but I'm not rich.
Oh, yeah, very good.
So pedantic, aren't you, old boy?
Well,
Something that arrived for me this weekend, which is very good fun, is this.
Ooh.
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 What have you got there?
It's the Tacom twin set of, oh jeez, it's bloody enormous, Horton 229As in 1/32 scale. And this box comes with a 1/16 pilot figure as well. And the pilots for this are doing an experimental pressure suit for them. So it's got like this big see-through bone dome thing on. They look like something like Buck Rogers or something.
Oh.
So there's that one and the two-seater night fighter version as well,
Nice.
and a pilot figure. So absolutely fantastic. That arrived the other day, all the way from sunny China or somewhere like that.
Wow.
Very nice. So that's going to keep me busy at some point when I've done everything else I've got to do. Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
I'll tell you what, Gary, you're lucky that this is your full-time job, isn't it?
It's it might as well be, frankly, for the amount of time I throw at this, it might as well be a full-time job.
'Cause if you had another job, you'd be stuffed, wouldn't you?
I wouldn't be here, mate. I really would not be bloody here. I got to tell you, I did get some of these done the other day as well.
Oh,
Some
nice.
stickers.
Oh, wonderful.
So I'll organise getting some of those sent around as well at some point.
Yeah.
I'll come up with some other. I'll have to come up with some other ideas and do some more. Do like a series of them or something. But I'll get some of those distributed soon as I can
Nice.
because that's fun. Yeah,
It is, isn't it?
I
It's
like
quite
the way they cut round it. It's quite nice.
It's good fun designing them as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's kind of a thing I sort of think I should be doing more of this sort of stuff and merching and whatever. So yeah, not having anything else to do with my time, I thought, I don't know what I'll do. I'll design some stickers. So I did that. What else am I going? Oh, I'm going to design some t-shirt stuff. There's some visuals I'm going to do, and there's some sort of design work around it and stuff, and do that.
Yeah,
that'd be quite fun. I can show you all that when it's actually done. Of course. The other thing is, I did phone up Hannants, and apparently they don't have extra hours in the day that they can send me. I wanted about 4 extra hours a day, and they said, "Yeah, I'm really sorry, we've sold out of those. You can't have any more of those." So
did you put on back
sadly,
order?
Yeah, they'll ping me when they come through. But other than that, everything's good. Everything's good. Do I sound convincing? Do I sound ever so slightly mad? I hope mad. I've always wanted to be slightly mad.
It's
Anyway,
fine.
Good show. It's always a good excuse to see just slightly. There was a commander in the Crimean campaign in the 1850s who a British general who was absolutely barking mad. I think General Melchett is somewhat modelled on him. He confidently at one point ordered a charge on the French positions.
It wasn't.
And when someone points, no, it's even higher than Cardigan. And when someone pointed out that the French are actually our allies at that point, and it was the Russians who should be charging, he said, "Don't be so bloody stupid. What do you think Waterloo was all about?"
Oh wow!
And when he was sent over, there was some concern in the Crimean army about his appointment, and a note preceded him, something along the lines of, "Yes, he can be occasionally a little mad, but in his more lucid moments, he's actually quite able." Okay, that's encouraging for the commander-in-chief of the army. Well done. Yeah. Because, of course, he'd learned his battle making against Napoleon, sort of 40 years earlier. Anyhow,
His battlecraft.
Indeed.
Aranville says, "What are you all building on this lovely Monday?" I'm working on some owlbears.
I'm working on a
Owlbear, the
72nd
owlbear.
scale Handley Page Victor B Mark II blue steel.
Does it have 36 rivets or 70? Yeah, since you're being Mr. Pedantic today.
Oh, you know, some people like to talk about modelling occasionally on this channel.
36 or 37 rivets?
Well, whatever you're happy with.
I'm making a Bristol Blenheim Mark 1
Ooh.
in 1/72. Here it is.
And I am
That's
painting
awesome.
a Griffhound statue from Age of Sigmar, Mortal Realms.
Ooh.
Nice.
And I'm starting to paint my Corsair,
Yeah.
which I've
Cool.
worked out what I'm going to go on with. So I'm going to put some aluminium down and then a bit of chromate or something, and then some chipping medium. And then when I paint all the intermediate blue, I'll bash the wings up a bit
Nice.
Nice.
on this one, because one thing you never see in the Pacific is a clean Corsair.
Very true. There we go. Let's go on to the next one. I got it. GM says, John, thank you. Have received comments from other modelers on other channels wanting to see how the Mirage build goes once started. Bench infested with Korean F-16s at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful.
Matt says, I pre-ordered the Daswork Jag Panther. As I said, done enough Panther wheels this year, hoping it comes during group build. Nice. Jim says, Tim, regarding the photo etch, working with it will fall somewhere between great success and total disaster. You'll find your way through it, okay? That's very reassuring.
No, that's pretty much what I'm expecting. Now I'm due for a failure. The last couple of firsts I've had, I've been pretty happy with, but we'll work out. You know, I got absolute ham hocks for hands, so we'll see how we go.
GM says, Mr. Evans, yes, saw your show earlier. Those are big kits to build. Your email keeps bouncing. Did send to Mikey a link on the North Korean air show for you, etc. Oh, yeah. That reminds me. Yeah, apparently your email keeps bouncing, Gary. So I don't know if he's got the wrong email or something. Gary.
Okay. Yeah. Don't know why.
Maybe the spelling's wrong,
It's,
possibly.
yeah, just stuff at GarySEvans.com. It's yeah. Should go through okay.
Sorry, were you recording then or something?
I was a little bit, yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
sorry,
okay,
dude.
no problem. No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm trying to multitask, you know,
That's
and
all right.
I'm failing miserably, and I'm just trying to have a good time. Yeah, ultimately, I'm going to just. Do you know what? I'm just going to film the bloody thing and then voice over the stuff. I'm not going to worry trying to. Yeah, it's getting too much really. I just build the damn model and film it, and then worry about everything else post production.
Well, maybe that's the answer. Maybe you've been overcomplicating it a little bit.
I overcomplicate absolutely everything at every possible opportunity, mate. Absolutely every opportunity. I always try and do something. If there's a right way and a wrong way, there's always a difficult way, and it's the difficult way that wins. But hey ho. I was thinking of Gary actually briefly when we were in Budapest. I thought I don't know if he's ever been there. I don't know if you've ever been there, Gary, but at Budapest Airport, there's this fantastic museum of Soviet-era airliners used by Malev, the Hungarian state airline. So it goes from, I think they've got some sort of weird version of the Antonov 2 that was built somewhere else. God alone knows where. All the way through to the Tupolev 154, the big iron thing, and everything in between. I didn't have time this time to actually go and have a look. If I get a chance, I'll actually try and see if I can sneak a trip over there just for a day. There's a hotel on site as well. Just maybe do a day trip and go and film around there, because there's a lot of access to a lot of the planes as well. So there's a few things I remember actually flying on, and now I look at them and think, gee, why on earth did I actually get inside one of those pieces here? But obviously in North Korea, they still fly 154s, I believe. So I think you'd enjoy it, mate.
Excellent. Jim says, for those that have built a Tiger 1 kit, the number of road wheels on a Panther or King Tiger will be much easier to deal with. There you go. I've got a Tiger 1 to build at some point. Aussie Ian says, good evening, morning, and afternoon. He's changed his name to Aussie Ian as well. Well done. I like that.
That's cool.
Oh, yeah.
Aaronville says,
Ian.
Aaronville says, nice all. Gary, I like your aircraft holder.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. It's from EBMA.
EBMA. Yeah.
Yeah,
One of these
EBMA.
ones.
There you go.
Available at Telford and other places.
There you go. Cool. Cheers, Modest. Dominic says, I'm working on a Tiger mod in scale 130 smithing. I'm going to make it Dutch, see if I can do it. I'm sure you can, mate. A man of your caliber. Paul Tanker says, Gooey! Gooey, Paul. TBG says, hi, everyone. Hi, TBG. Graham
Hey,
says,
TBG.
hello, all. Graham says, hello, all. Hello, Graham.
Hello.
David says, did go to Hobbycraft this morning, picked up another A1 cutting mat for other table, had £5 off summer token. Nice. I need to go to Hobbycraft at some point. Jim says, Mr. Evans, no, not been there, but have been invited. Mikey, can you please forward to Gary the link? It is very informative. He would love it. Okay.
Cool. Thanks, man.
Jim says, Matt, what version of Jagd Panther, G1 or G2? You can tell the style by the style of the gun mantlet. There we go. Aaronville says, thanks, EBMA. David says, doing some on the Whippet and ordered the Jagd Panther this morning with some AK mud effects. Nice.
Ooh.
So it looks like we're having a group build.
Yes,
Nice.
sir.
Another one.
Well,
Yeah, to be fair, we haven't done one for a while, though, have we? Like a whole one with the subscribers.
The last one was the Harrier, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There we go. Does that mean I got to create a Jagd Panther sticker?
as if you weren't going to.
You know me so well. TVG says, hi, Graham. And Ariel says, hey, Gary, looks like you're enjoying the model room you built.
Oh, yeah, enjoying it. Enjoying it. I live in here now.
When your wife lets you.
Yeah, absolutely. When
That's all.
other much more pressing things don't happen.
The only time you're allowed to go in there is when you've been misbehaving and she tells you can go in there.
Yeah.
It's
Actually,
more of a
Hamish is in here with me today, so it is definitely doghouse.
Yeah. It's more of a suggestion rather than an acceptance.
Yeah.
I suggest you go in your room.
Yeah.
What are you
Why
doing
don't
in
you
the
do some
house,
modelling,
Gary?
dear? Yes,
Yeah.
just making it look untidy.
It's when you go in there one morning and you find that she's put a brand new suspicious camp cot in there for you, all nicely packed with the receipt.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's this there? We haven't been camping for years. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, we don't do camping. Thank you very much.
No, your Whitroads do 5-star hotels.
Well, when one can't find 6-star, obviously, yes.
Well, yeah.
What's wrong with us?
I mean, they won't let you on the hotel in Bryce anymore, so
No, absolutely.
they're worried
No.
you and your comrades may let people in the gates. But
Yeah, absolutely.
have you seen what some of the MPGS guys are saying on Facebook about it?
No.
What is MPGS?
Sorry, Military Provost Guard Service.
Oh, is that the army equivalent?
It's army, but it's more retired soldiers that have gone in to do the guards. So on they guard the bases on UK soils.
Okay.
So, well, somebody, I don't know if it's the MPGS saying, because people keep taking the mick out of the RAF regiment about it, and somebody keeps saying the RAF regiment don't guard Bryce Norton. It's the MPGS, you idiots. So blame the army. And people are like, yeah, but MPGS don't do airside. That's the RAF regiment. They are responsible for the airfield.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a bit of a,
So-
bit of a failing.
Oh, complete nonsense. As I said to you before, if it had that been anything to do with me, that whoever was on duty that day would still be on extra duties, like for the rest of their entire in fact, I would extend their service period just so they could do even more extra duty. Their feet would not bloody touch ever again. For
Yeah,
that.
and that'd be the senior NCOs.
Oh, Christ.
Juniors.
Absolute shambles. Absolute bloody shambles.
And people are saying
Well,
that.
see,
aren't they?
that's the problem, you see. In the old days, it was really easy. Up to the boundary fence, police problem. After the boundary fence, regiment problem. It used to be so simple. And now, because they haven't got anyone in the service anymore and they can't decide who does what and whether, there's just no straightforward line of control. In the old days, it would be before you get to the fence, you get challenged by the regiment. You get over the fence, you get a dog chewing on your ass from the police. And who then say, oh, by the way, halt or I release my dog. You know, everyone knew the score.
Yeah.
People with bloody paint going, they wouldn't have got 20 yards before an Alsatian had them by the throat.
Yeah.
But you're not allowed to do that anymore. You're not allowed to
Well,
train
this is the
people
thing.
to do that. You're not allowed to train animals. You can't do this. You can't do that. It's a bloody military base, for crying out loud.
This is the thing,
You know,
right?
stop
They didn't just get
pretending
over
it's
the
a
fence.
game.
They didn't just get over the fence. They walked through the fence with electric scooters.
Yeah, but,
Yeah.
you know, and then sprayed aircraft using a fire extinguisher pressurized with paint.
Yes.
Apparently.
Kill the engines,
Ugh.
and then rode off and left the base again undetected. Is that how it happened?
Yep. But they've arrested 4 people for it now.
They have.
Yeah. Because they were really stupid and put it all over TikTok and things.
Well, which is why they did it in the first place, let's be honest.
Yeah. Because they're idiots.
But, Jesus. You imagine RAF Germany, something like that happening back in the late 80s. They'd have been shot.
Yeah.
There wouldn't have been any of this nonsense. They would have been shot. There would have been halt or I fire, bang, bang, dead. End of.
Well,
You know,
And even if they weren't then, once they were caught, they'd have been charged with sabotage.
yeah.
it's like the time when back in my day, one of my friends went off into town, into Doha, and got some, bought a complete hijab. What the full face one? I can't remember what they're called.
Burqa.
Yeah.
Burqa?
Oh, the burqa. Yeah, the full burqa. And then when her came back into the base, she was had the bats and she was waving them back in and all that sort of stuff like that. And people are filming it because it's funny. and the crew are loving it. And then what we didn't see is because we were all looking at the aircraft was the American SPs, like force protection came up behind, weapons drawn, had them all on the ground, confiscated the camera. It was pretty insane.
Oh yeah, the Americans don't mess around, do they?
They don't mess around, no. But
Every
we're just
time
like,
an
you
American,
can't film this, and we're saying it's our bloody plane. Piss off. You know?
yeah.
I don't care.
Every
It's
time an American ship was at the fleet base, they would post up force protection on like the main gatehouse,
yeah.
and they'd be strapped up. So like
Oh yeah.
they would defend our base better than we would, because we just have a couple of wankers and a hatchback.
Well,
we outsource it. We don't even.
well, to be fair, you've barely got enough people to man the ships, so
Yeah, well, doesn't exactly fill one with patriotic zeal when we don't even take base security with any semblance of seriousness.
Well, when we were in Iraq, I had to go over to the RAF lines one day, and I was in a snatch Land Rover, driving along, got up to the gate, went to open the door to get my ID and show my ID. Anyway, they just, before I even got to the gate, I started slowing down, and they just lifted the gate up and started waving. I was like, you can't even see who's in here because we've got riot cages on the windows and everything. It literally could have just been someone who had nicked a bloody snatched Land Rover and tried to go on the airfield.
Yeah. Just shocking. Just a disgrace, it really is.
Yeah. And then you compare that to on our camp, we had the some Americans on there because they were responsible for the anti-rocket defenses, missile defenses, like the phalanx guns and things. And during a raid, they didn't have to show ID because they had to get to the phalanx gun as quick as possible. And we're on guard duty one day, and next minute there's no sirens going off or anything, and this bloody massive American 4x4 starts barreling at the bloody gates. So we all draw our weapons, and he slams on and starts having a go at us, saying, "Where what's it called? Where artillery? Where they're here to sort out the phalanx gun?" We're like, there's no air raid. That doesn't matter. I'm allowed to drive through any checkpoint I want. I went, no, you're not. Show me your ID, and you can go through. I don't know who you are. You've just barreled down on our checkpoint. You were lucky we didn't open fire because you were in a bloody civilian truck, you idiot.
Yeah.
Prepare to be checked, says Burly Mikey.
Yeah.
Putting on some gloves.
I didn't even have a beard then.
Prepare to be checked, says Babyface Mikey.
Yeah. Oh, I was babyface, man. Do you want to see a picture of what I look like back then?
Of your baby face?
Yeah, I was definitely baby-faced.
Where's my little... There we are.
Hey, miss. It's okay. It's okay. Good boy.
There you go. Okay. Why can't you zoom in on pictures anymore on Facebook? That's stupid.
I noticed that.
Okay. There I am.
Oh. Oh.
What a handsome boy.
So here's a question to the panel, because I actually don't understand the language of this thing. While I was sitting at this reception the other day, the 50th wedding anniversary, a thing popped up on my Facebook feed as like ads. You know how the bloody Facebook reckons you're interested in all this stuff. Oh, I can't remember what the site was. Cadetshop.com.au. Anyway, it said, like, you can make up stickers of your ribbons and all that stuff like that. So these aren't my ribbons, but that's just an example. So I chose mine, and I got five ribbons instead of 6.
Yeah.
2 of them, $41, right? But then what does this mean? Does that mean it'll cost $208.15 to ship it? Or does that mean...
Yeah. $208 to ship.
That's how I'd read it.
For 2 stickers. So I bought 2. Yeah. No, I didn't. No.
And Bronwyn divorced him the very next day.
Yeah. Oh, and this also popped up in memories. How's that?
Oh, wow.
It's 486 Squadron as a practice, all wearing CWDs, a combined working dress, as a practice for the presentation of the Governor General's banner for Maintenance Squadron. Flying Squadrons don't get colours. So we got the banner a couple of days later, and then we were disbanded within the year. But I'm there somewhere. I'm one of the people. I'm down there somewhere. Yeah, but that's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've got a book on the history of the corps I was in, and our Iraq photos in there.
Sorry, my mistake.
Our battalion photo from Iraq's in there. I don't know if it's here or in the other room. It's a pretty hefty book. It's one of 2. Ordered by His Royal Highness Prince Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh.
Oh, that's a nice book.
Yeah. It's got the whole history of the regiment in it. All the corps. All the vehicles that we worked on and all the deployments and stuff. Let's see if I can find it. Remy Aviation. Remy Overseas. Kenya. That's colour ones. So it should be here somewhere. No.
Many years ago, as a pin-up boy, I was Mr. March in a Rolls-Royce aircraft engine calendar. It was just there's a silhouette of me, but you could tell it was me because it was a flat forehead, and you could see the neck bolts from like half the other side of the room. It was great.
There you go. Look at that. ID hit an armored wolfhound. Hit an IED. And that's the damage it did to it.
Can we zoom in on Mikey, please? Oh, there we are. Wow.
And that's an armored truck.
Isn't it just an armored truck after you repaired it?
Pretty much.
I've heard stories.
Duct tape was a valuable resource where I was.
Jeez, you got me feeling all nostalgic now. Going back through all the old photos and stuff.
3CS Battalion. Afghan. This is Iraq one. Oh, well, that's still Afghanistan. Come on, where's Iraq?
Oh, it's somewhere over towards Middle East.
Huh?
Yeah.
Vague area. It's near Vague area.
Here we are. Yeah, Optelicate indirect fire. That's mortar round hit on the buildings,
Yeah, that'll do
on the
it.
offices. So really good. So that's what I used to work on a lot of.
What, reading?
No, them
Oh,
trucks.
the photo. I see.
The Foden recovery trucks.
Ah,
That's what I spent most of my time working on. Them and Land Rovers.
I found a outside video of my old ship.
And that's why we stopped using the Land Rovers outside the wire.
yeah.
That's it. Oh, wow.
She's a big boat.
Yeah, that was
Was that Garden Island?
yeah, that was we took the landing craft across the harbor to where'd we go? Waterhen, I think, to do our quell shoots.
That sounds right. Yeah. Cool.
Which is
Where the,
It's cheaper than a
Yeah.
ferry.
yeah, it's a good morning that.
where the hell is this picture? I know it's in here somewhere.
And there's something cool. For anyone that's never been on a boat out in the Great Barrier Reef, the surface of the ocean is weirdly glassy
Wow.
across the reef. Yeah.
That'd be a nice computer wallpaper.
It would.
It would.
This is going to bug me now until I find it.
That's cool. I was handing out Bibles in Vanuatu after church on Sunday.
Oh, you're the one at the back. Oh, I see.
Yes, the
The white one.
well, I was going to say the one in uniform. You're racist. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's the obvious choice, isn't it?
Rolls the one 3 times the size of anyone else in the photo.
Yeah. Because they're children, not because you're exceptionally tall.
Hang on. There is
We're not short.
Yeah, look. There you go. That'll shut up in your face. Where am I? Yeah. The one that's literally like head and shoulders.
Look at the
above
size of
everyone
that
else.
head.
Do they have a beret to fit you?
Oh my god.
No.
Is that why you don't wear a beret? Because they didn't have
Mate,
one that was big enough?
I'm a 62 at Cobra. Like I've got a bollard for a head. This thing's a weapon.
So when everyone sort of like got together for that photo, that everyone was quite sort of spread out, but it was the gravitational pull of your rotund body would have pulled them all in towards you. Is that right?
Yeah. Look at that smile. That's the smile of someone that knows that they're literally sucking everyone in. Nicest group of people there, though. Well, they got whacked by 2 cyclones back to back, and yeah, went across for mass and everything, and they're all
John, Tonka
super nice.
in the Falklands.
Oh, Tonka. Yeah, sweet.
Well, this was pretty cool.
There
actually.
it is. I found it.
Oh, okay.
See? Oh, no, that's just Harry. Damn it. It's not it.
Damn it.
So annoying. Oh, there it is. 4ES company. I shall scroll down. Doo-doo-doo. There you go. 4ES company. Optelic 11. I was stood down here.
Right.
Very nice.
So that was a Foden drops, and then that was a one machine for lifting shipping containers, and then that was a Mastiff armored truck. Yeah, and that's where we worked most of the time. Yeah.
Cool.
There we go. And zoom out. Why have you put me back in? How are you doing, Modders?
I didn't. I think we clicked it at the same time.
I think that was probably the best photo I took while I was over there.
Yeah.
It's a like double rainbow on the ocean off one of the small islands. So it was like horizon to horizon, unbroken double rainbow, which is pretty cool. Like we were loading up Chinooks with aid and stuff. So it was bucketing rain. So this was probably at about 6 a.m.
Nice.
And yeah, it's smashing rain. Okay, good. That's finally dry.
So I've got a picture of on my Facebook.
On Facebook.
On Facebook. Who wants to see how lean I was when I came back from Iraq?
I'd say Kaylee.
Oh, burn. Dude.
I was 14 stone there. I put 2 stone on when I went out there.
So here's a question for the panel.
Mm.
If you put a model in a competition and it looked just like that, would it get any points, or is it too clean?
Probably.
I think-
They'd probably say, oh, it's too clean. But that's ridiculous.
I think if it looked just like that, then like I'd give it points.
Well,
Because it's not clean because it's like absent anything. It's clean because everything's just executed flawlessly on it.
No, it's a photo, an actual photo.
Yeah.
But,
Like if someone put something in that was exactly like that, then yeah, I'd be like, no, you've just nailed it. But
Yeah.
Yeah, so aircraft can be cleaner. I mean, they're new aircraft, but they can be cleaner than some people would think.
why do I feel attacked?
What?
Oh, I just saw a photo. This is I had an argument with one of my bosses. We were fixing a wiring loom. There was a broken wire on a landing loom of a Hornet, and you cannot for certain systems like anti-skid and stuff, you can't have a join in the loom. It's got to be continuous wiring and stuff. You can't have a solder joint or anything at all.
Yeah, just in case.
And the aircraft had, I think, 12 days of flying left, and they said, we want to do a complete loom change. And I just sort of came out and sort of said, well, it's really not worth it. And my boss said, well, can you prove to me why you think it'll be okay to go ahead and splice? So I brought him out and showed him the previous work that one of the contractors had done for us.
Jesus.
So I got the permission I needed.
Yeah. I better catch up on chat. Matt says, Jim, it's the G2 Super Blitz. It's the reduced parts count model being lazy. Aussie Ian says, yes, I learned how to change my handle the other night on this very channel. Don't let it be said that watching you guys is a waste of time. I would hope nobody would say that. Oh, yeah. Don't forget to lube and subscribe, people. We haven't said it today.
No.
Yeah. Graham says, has anyone in here used a cry cut machine to cut paint masks?
I have not.
No.
Nope. Paul says, originally Forrest Gump wasn't going to talk about chockies. He was going to say life is like a pubic hair on a toilet seat. Sooner or later you get pissed off. Delightful. And our viewer count just dropped by 3. Jim says, in my honest opinion, Jagdpanther was the sleek sports car of World War II tank destroyers.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty nice.
Matt says,
As,
go on.
as far as killing machines go, they look pretty.
Yeah. Matt says, tempted to do the Stug after the Aussie Tank Museum's latest restoration. Yeah, that's
you're not
cool.
wrong.
They've done a good job on that.
Hmm.
Jim says, greeting Aussie Ian, Graham, and Paul. Paul says, good day, Jim. And Jim says, Matt, Borden makes a kit of the Stug 3 with a 10.5 centimeter gun, or 105 millimeter gun. That's the version for me. There we go. GM says, my model rooms, too, are more like a transit lounge for boxes of kits, always moving kits places the local customers at Kimpo Airport add stamps to the boxes to verify they're the same kits. Laugh out loud.
Huh.
Jim says, if you post some salties around the base, I don't think you'd need to worry about intruders.
Oh,
Jim,
yeah. Fair enough.
Jim
Yeah.
says, babyface Mikey. I guess that's open to interpretation. I could show you a really babyface Mikey because I've got pictures of me when I was a kid on there. Jim says, a local runner would shortcut across the airfield at Butterworth. A new guy on guard duty, unaware who he was, yelled, halt. He kept running. A single shot dropped him dead. He heard later he was deaf. Oof.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. That happened in the Second World War, didn't it? There's a home guard soldier shouting at a kid to halt. And the kid was deaf and didn't hear him, so he shot him in the head.
His kid.
No, not his kid. A kid.
He was a kid. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know. Oh,
Yeah.
well.
And there's another one where the home guard guy tried to fire a warning shot at the ground next to him, and it ricocheted off and went straight into his body. Ricocheted off the ground.
I think Jim told me
Well,
once that he went to school with a guy called Ricochet.
Yeah.
There was
That's
actually
why.
a guy.
That's why we were told never fire a warning shot.
Yeah.
If you're going to discharge your firearm, you do it with the intent to kill.
Yeah.
End of story. You don't fire warning shots. That's ridiculous.
Even if you fire it off into the air, it's got to come down at some point.
Yeah.
And you don't know who's going to come down.
But you're not in control. You're not in control of the round. So you never fire unless you mean it.
Yeah. We did actually have a guy in our company called Richard Shea. He's now a firearms officer with North Wales Police.
And
At least he wasn't called Richard Head.
I think what is it? Yeah, Tim's sister. In
Was
the
she
Navy
called
in
Richard
recruits. No, she went to in recruits. She had somebody called Seaman Staines. I think Richard Staines, which is just bad in itself. But, you know.
Matt says, John, are you facing the right way in that photo?
I can't remember the photo.
No, he had his back to the camera.
Oh.
David says, while doing guard duties at an ammo compound in Germany, we're on outer and then on inner compound. One of my gunners stopped and refused entry to an American colonel. No ID, so he refused him entry. Good man.
Fair enough.
TVG says, no, he's the one doing a handstand back to the camera. Bob says, aha, Jadlam just informed me Jagdpanther has been dispatched. Excellent.
Wonderful. Just one. I'm surprised.
He was going to get two because he wasn't sure which colour scheme he wanted to do.
2 dozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they were going to be delivered to me tomorrow.
Look at this guy. I found that
Who's
old
that?
photo. It's me.
Can't be you. The hair's not white enough.
I know, right? But look at the date,
Oh,
though.
look at the little toy guns.
Uh,
You're holding BB guns. How cool.
It's a killing machine. Sure, they're made of plastic. But yeah, it's an Ostire. F88.
Yeah, what's wrong with the F88?
Nothing. You know. Lots of blockages. It's all good.
I remember on guard duty one night, and some Australians there, and we were talking about the difference in between their GAT and our GAT. And they said, oh, it's unloaded. You can handle it if you want. Feel the difference. And I picked it up, and I was like, oh, my God, that's like handling a toy.
Yeah.
There's no weight to it.
I know. That's why it's good. So, God, I can't remember the weight. You had to remember the weight, Tim. Do you still remember the weight? 7.56 rounds. It's not 8.6 kilograms, is it? It's less
Oh,
than that.
sorry. Like,
That'll be
no,
pounds. wouldn't it?
no.
It'd
Yeah,
be
you have to
pounds.
learn the weight, loaded and unloaded at recruits. I can't remember now. I'm not
Oh,
that
really?
there.
I didn't have to learn that.
Well, to be
I
fair,
don't know what it weighs. I just know the sound it makes when it kills a man.
I know the sound it makes when you've applied the action and nothing happens. Tilt, cock, lock, look in. Oh, there's a round in the magazine, no rounds in the chamber.
the sound the stair makes is a pew 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 pew, as the Australian behind it shouts when he pulls the trigger.
It wasn't bad, but the fact is, anyone deployed for
Yeah.
real with weapons or whatever would never have a style themselves. They'd always have something else.
Yeah.
So there's got to be a reason for that.
See, a lot of people slate the SA-80 because it's not the SLR, but the SLR had lower muzzle velocity, lower magazine capacity, lower rate of fire. The only thing it had going for it was the fact that it had a slightly bigger round and it was nearly 6 foot bloody tall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a good weapon. The L1A1 was a brilliant thing. I loved it.
Tell you, I saw a video the other day on
Especially if you
YouTube.
get into the gas feed system and turn it into full auto. Absolutely epic.
See, the SA-80 comes with full auto, so you don't need to do that. But
Yeah, but
I never had a
5.56,
problem
man.
with it.
You know, 7.62 is going to go through absolutely everything, which was its problem, of course, in many respects.
Well, that and the fact it had a lower muzzle velocity as well.
Yeah.
So,
Still, what, 2,700 feet per second? That'll do.
Yeah.
42, 32.
Oh, have you seen what they are going to be doing? They're looking at they're trialing some new rifles for the British Army. I was watching this the other day, and they're changing the caliber of the rounds.
The colour of the rounds are going to be red paint now from extinguishers due to a recent test.
No, that's just the RAF regiments ones.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and they're going to come with LED lights on.
Yeah, they're looking at 6.8 millimeter now.
Why?
Because the Americans are 6.8 millimeters. Some
they?
of them, well, some of them are. But what they're saying
I've been 5.56 for years.
Yeah, they're
NATO standard 5.56.
Yeah, but the new
or
rifle,
7.62 51.
but they want a high caliber round, but they want to keep the high muzzle velocity. So with the 7.62, it's a lower muzzle velocity.
So now everyone's got to change.
Yeah,
it costs like billions.
A real good idea to have zero interoperability with any of your strategic partners.
Absolutely.
Big thumbs up.
Well, apparently a lot of the EU nations are switching over to that. A lot of the EU nations are switching over to that caliber because it also means they can have the new rounds where you can actually program whether they follow an arc or whatever using the new sighting systems and things.
Okay.
It's
we don't
literally
have to care anymore.
No, you can literally, if you're at a distance, it'll automatically adjust for that distance and things. The sights and things. It's bizarre. Right. Have you seen the new night vision systems and everything?
No, God no.
It's thermal overlaid with night vision overlaid with line. What's it called? I can't remember what it's called, but basically it puts a line around everything, any details or anything. So it basically looks like a 3D image. It is really cool. There's videos of it working on YouTube. It's seriously cool.
Yeah.
And it's a lot more detailed.
Until your battery runs out.
Exactly.
I just don't trust any of this shit. I really don't. Really do not trust it.
The thing is, all that stuff, because it's all designed to be interlinked as well with obviously your squad and company and your battalion and everything. Because even the guys
and the Russian hackers who are already on your network,
Well, exactly. This is the thing, isn't it? Because it's designed to, so that the commanders back at headquarters can have a live feed to the battlefield. Yeah, great, but that means there's a Russian sat there with intercepts that can intercept it.
Totally.
And
also, why do they need to know? They're not fighting the damn thing. They don't need to know anything. They're useless. They're as saluting objects, not actually doing anything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
It's just all
suppose,
very, very, very stupid to me.
suppose that is
Honestly,
the new Western approach where you need to be able to prosecute your own soldiers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. in the UK.
I was going to say because the whole experience of Afghanistan just demonstrated entirely that technology will always win in at the end of the day, won't it?
Yeah.
Technology is always going to win.
Yeah.
Vietnam was the same.
Yeah.
Technology will do it.
Yeah.
What a load of bollocks. Well, I just pity the poor sods who have to go into war with all this shit on their back and thinking, why am I carrying this? Most importantly, however, this new firearm that they're allegedly having, can you do decent drill with it? Or do we have to do American drill as well? You have to have them chromed and throw them at each other? Or can you actually do proper drill?
But I don't know if I mentioned, I'm going to upset my good friend Joe and Jim here. The worst thing I've done in my career, the worst decision I made is to do drill with the American Honor Guard. Oh my God. What a pack of cockspanks.
There you go. It's
Now,
the,
John,
It's
come
the-
off the fence. Say what you mean, mate. Don't sort of,
So the trouble is,
package it
our
up for
drill
us.
manual doesn't have. See you've seen it all. It looks very impressive when they're doing, say, the drill around, say, the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier and all that stuff, like Arlington.
Yeah.
They do. It's like a slow motion sort of, literally slow motion walk and stuff. We don't
Yeah.
have that. We've got fast, quick march, and we've got slow march, but it's a different
Absolutely.
cadence, and we do the flick pause, and all that sort of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Whereas the Americans don't. And I was in time with them, but ours didn't. I mean, I didn't look like them. So they're saying, no, you need to do it like us. And I said, I can't. It's not my drill manual. I'm doing what I'm allowed to do. We'll have word. So they brought my WD, warrant officer disciplinary down, and they said, look, he's not following our commands. And he said, well, what are you asking him to do? And he said, well, yeah, that's bullshit. This is a dress manual. The manual dress, a drill manual. And he said, there's no provision for it. So he said, these guys are a pack of idiots. Do you want to get out of here? I'm just like, no, I want to stick around and do this. But I said, can I just stick to Australian drill? And he basically said to him, yeah, he's doing what he is trained to do to the best of his ability. It's your choice whether you want him involved or not. And they wanted me. The British by then have already said, no, you're a pack of idiots. You can go to hell. So they had withdrawn. So when we had it was just basically a gaggle of Americans and me. And it was really frustrating just because, I've never met such a bunch of, oh my God, I think that's all they did. I don't think they had secondary jobs because they were very, very good at what they did. But my God, it made me want to give them a Liverpool kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool kiss.
Oh, you might know it as a Durham kiss.
It's a Glasgow kiss.
Oh, okay.
Headbutt.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Glasgow kiss.
Okay. Well, maybe it's Liverpool Sydney then.
Yeah, we got a thing called the Liverpool special. Oh no, sorry, the Wollongong special, which is you go with the fist and then you follow up with the same elbow.
The gong.
Yeah. Only good thing to come out of Wollongong is the Wollongong special.
Yeah, it's the new rifle that they're looking at is basically an uprated AR-16 armor-like thing. They can change the barrels on for different calibers and things.
Yeah, that's not gonna go wrong, is it?
No. Well, the Marine Commandos are already using a similar thing, aren't they now? The KS2 Knights Armament 1, I think it's called. KS1. Jim says, good choice. Not being lazy at all, Matt. You can build a very good model without the needless 1,000-part count. Yeah. TBG says it'll buff out Mikey. Yeah. Julian says, FF's sake, bloody NHS appointment isn't until next year. Now waiting ambulance to get home.
Oh,
Oh, goodness sakes. Huh.
Did you misread the letter, Julian? Tiff says she was just on the phone. TBD, oh dear, Julian. Paul says, Julian, sorry to hear that, mate. TBG says, hopefully not the ambulance that goes to... Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. David says, oh, Julian, done things like that as well. And Julian says, no, that's the one that brought me here, TBG. GM says, have seeing oceans dead smooth, really hard to fly low level over as you can't see where the water starts, easy to strike the surface.
Oh, it's amazing, yeah. Low level in Orion, it surprised the hell out of me. 100 feet at 360 knots, like it's quick, yeah.
The one that I found really impressive was flying over the South Atlantic in the middle of the night on a clear night. And it just looks like you're flying through the stars.
Sorry, Duke Wellington says, I'm back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yay.
John's having an episode. Good. Fine.
He's having a stroke. And not a medical one.
No.
TVG says, the rubber room isn't ready, Julian. GM says, Dad said his wingman flying a DH Civics and lost weapons pylons from a wing after striking the sea when smooth. Even some paint was looking sanded.
Oh my God.
Mm.
Wow.
Julian says, must be the same clowns building at TBG. And thanks for the warning, Duke. TBG says, no, the clown wing is next to the psychiatric unit. See, I don't call it that because my wife has actually got quite severe mental health problems. And she has been admitted to that hospital. Duke says, damn it, Julian, I should have snuck up on you. Paul Price says, evening all. Hello, Paul.
Evening, Paul.
John Thompson's in. Morning, guys. Bad joke for the day. Why do electricians prefer pants? They don't like shorts.
Oh, bloody hate them.
Welcome. Looking Mally says, yo,
sup. Hello, Mr. Paul. Currently over at the other side of Australia.
Yeah.
In Perth.
Yeah. John, shut the fuck up. John says, I was amazed that aircraft that fought against each other were used in the IDF. Then I saw an Israeli B-17 and an RAF B-29. Interesting. That's cool. And he says, Israel took what they could get in terms of aircraft. I think you guys called the B-29 the Washington.
They did, yes.
There we go. Matt says, as an inhabitant of Greater Glasgow, I can corroborate what Tiff said. It's a Glasgow kiss.
Glasgow
kiss.
kiss.
There you go. Aaronville
I've only
said,
been there once.
Yeah, I think if you put in a clean model and when displaying, show the actual picture beside it. What do you all think? I'm not so creative, so we'll use photos or actual box artwork for reference. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Back in my day.
In my day, I could do that pushing a peel bill with my nose. That's what my granddad used to say. My answer was always, why would you want to do that, Granddad?
So hang on. Back in my day, I could what?
In my day, I could do that going uphill, pushing a pee on my hands, pushing a pee up with my nose.
Yeah. You're right. Why would you want to do that?
Yeah. He didn't like the fact that I challenged it.
It's bucketing down here now.
See, the one that I always got stung with by chiefs and stuff was back in my day, men were steel and ships were wood. You know, I'd believe that, you old bastard.
John says, did RF pilots name their planes and do nose art like the US did? Don't think
yes
they
and
did,
no.
Kind of.
There's exceptions to every rule and every theatre.
I think they certainly named their planes. I think it was more with the nose art is more if they spent time around American squadrons, then they maybe did it.
Okay, so just a couple of examples. So here we go. Spitfire.
Spitfire.
Where we go? 303 Polish Squadron RAF Northolt, Great Britain, May, June 1941. So
Just up the road from me.
yeah, there you go. So nose out with a Disney dog there because he can. So there's a couple of exceptions. Oh, Douglas Bader, of course, with him kicking Hitler up the backside.
Yeah.
What else we got? We got an American fighter there with an American coat of arms, not coat of arms, but American Eagle. A guy, Ram, whoever that is. Oh, Serum, a remnant from a previous service with and different things. So yeah, not always, but they certainly did.
Yeah.
On occasion.
It wasn't standard practice, but it happened. Is basically what you were saying.
Yes.
In the most succinct way.
I should have. Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, if I had just said that. Yes.
You did your normal John style of explanation.
I wanted to bring
Illustrate.
the receipts.
There we go. David says, have to go now, pick up grandkids from school. See you all tomorrow. See you later, buddy. Have a good day. Go for it's in. He says, hello, and waves. Hello, go for it.
Hello.
Hello.
I don't even know what I was going to do.
You were going to say, shut the hell up, Marley.
I would never do that to you. Honest. Well, I painted the base for my owlbears. Here you go. There you go. Looks all
It's
right.
come up a treat, hasn't it?
Can we have a close look, please?
Yep. There you go.
It's very nice.
Yeah. I don't know whether to make that water or just leave it as mud.
Was that open musing, or would you like an opinion?
Opinion. Let's go for an opinion.
I think, given you have UV resin and stuff, and the position that you want to have the owlbear, I think it would look more interesting as water.
Okay.
Well, it's a bit of like surface scum and all that sort of stuff. Looks like a bit like dross. That's right. Owlbear dross. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, dear John. Okay, so if I...
So Maria had to take a load of photos off the wall earlier because one of the walls has been painted. So I just thought I'd share this rather horrific image with you. I do apologise for it in advance, but that's me.
Oh, that's okay. I thought you were going to show me Gary
all that
Morrison's-
hair.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
How about that?
How about that?
Did your glasses stay on when you were parachuting?
No, took them off when I was jumping.
Does
You
that
could
seem
get
to
like
be
goggles
good?
to have them off, but so what's the point? It don't matter whether you can see or not. You're going to hit the ground just as damn hard. So,
So I used
whether you
to
can
think
see
it
it coming
was-
or not is irrelevant.
I used to think, I didn't see the point in anyone jumping out of a perfectly serviceable aircraft. But now, having worked around aircraft for years, I do realise that there's no such thing as a perfectly serviceable aircraft. So do what you want.
And that's why I don't go in aircraft at all anymore.
Well, the thing is, if you look at the stats, by far the most dangerous point of any flight is the landing.
Yeah.
You're at low energy, you're going downwards, your engines are throttled back. Anything goes wrong, you're going down all the time. So why? And given that the most important piece of safety equipment given to every pilot is a parachute, it just makes logical sense. Get airborne, jump out the damn thing.
One of the big
I wish
changes
British
between
Airways
the
would
H
do
model and the J model was they got rid of the parachutes. Used to be a couple for the crew, but they got rid of them all. Oh, well, haven't lost one
Oh,
yet.
I see. What, like a bit like in World War One, to sort of concentrate their mind a little
That's
bit
it.
on
Yes.
problem solving rather than just jumping out. Nice.
That always amused me. Didn't amuse them, like.
No, not
No.
much.
Well, it was the same theory behind taking cover, wasn't it? For the infantry. They decided that's why when you see in films, the sergeants and corporals are always threatening to shoot them if they don't get up and keep going forwards. It's not because they were determined to carry on the attack. It's because the mindset of the day, or the theory of the day, was that if you allow a man to take cover from fire, he will not come back out of that cover until he thinks it's safe. So
There's
obviously
a very, very interesting program about military psychology a while back. They were looking at some remnants of an American Civil War battle
Oh,
where they were discussing the fact that it's obviously not the natural thing for a human to kill another human. It has to be trained into people,
yes.
and to overcome that reluctance. And obviously in situations where you're drafting people, you don't have time to do all that psychological stuff necessarily. So what they had found in this battlefield was a musket, and of course in those days they had the mini ball. So you would put a charge in, then this bullet would be pushed down in rammed down, but it's a bullet shape. So when it fired, the back end of the bullet expanded to grip the barreling and be spun out. So they were still using the sort of line tactics of almost like Napoleonic era, I guess. And they were finding that some people were, rather than shooting the enemy, they were just pretending to shoot and then just loading another round. And because of the smoke, no one could see what was going on. And they found a rifle loaded with 7 rounds, one
Wow.
after the other. And this person had just basically refused to shoot at the enemy. Because they were human beings, presumably, or for whatever reason, he was less scared of his commanders than he was of dying on the field or whatever. And he just couldn't bring himself to actually shoot these people. So he just went through the process of loading the round, so he looked like everyone else, but not actually pulling the trigger.
Yeah, right.
Really fascinating program.
Yeah, I watched something like that a few years ago. It is interesting.
If you're not sufficiently scared of your command, it's a failure of the command.
Well, that's what they used to say, that the British troops in the Napoleonic era were far more scared of their sergeants than they were of the Imperial Guard. So they just went and did their jobs.
Yeah.
Also, slightly scared how much brainwashing some of us have been through as well. So, okay, that's a little uncomfortable to realise that now as what I like to think is a reasonably decent human being. The sort of stuff that goes through. But it's just interesting that this person had their own little peace protest in the middle of Gettysburg or whatever it was by actually not firing at the enemy.
Maybe that's why John takes out on animals, because he's just been programmed to be a killer.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
What, he takes it out on the South Welsh?
haven't been deprogrammed yet, is that it?
Yeah. All that our Air Force training.
Well, what can I say? None of the aircraft I worked on were painted in red paint.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Gary.
Fair play. Absolutely right. You're damned right. Because it was the police's job.
Thrilled to hear they found them, arrested them, because they literally cost millions of dollars damage.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, with the way our legal system is in the UK, they'll probably just get away with it.
Oh, yeah, totally. They'll get community of service order or something.
Well, I don't know what will happen. I'll leave that to the British court system, but it can't be allowed to happen again. Like, the reason why we restrict access to these things is because it's not our money. It's the taxpayers' money, and we have to do what we can with it and protect it.
And
Is-
we
is
it's
don't
this-
not
want
about
people-
ideology or anything else.
Is this that group that is shortly going to be
Yes.
designated a terror group? Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
So what did they do in London at the weekend? They all went out to support it.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, TBG says, "Hi, Daniel." John says, "Are there any plans to restore another Lancaster to an airworthy condition? Something impressive about it in the air." I don't
They're
think there
doing
is.
one now. There's two flying now, which
Mhm.
is Vera in Canada and the Battle of Britain Memorial flight. So there's two of them. So they're doing a third one now, which is Just Jane. I can't remember the airfield where that is in the UK, but it's taking many years. Basically, a family had bought a surplus Lancaster after the war as a memorial to their, I think, brother or father, someone or other had died in World War II, and they kept it as a memorial. And years later, they would taxi it up and down. People would pay for the upkeep of fuel and all that sort of stuff like that. And it's in such good condition. Well, it's one of the few Lancasters around that. Yeah, they're currently returning out to flight, so that'll be 3, and I'd say that'll be all there will ever be.
Yeah.
I hope not, but we'll see.
There's just not enough parts for them, is there?
I guess not. I mean, the thing is, like all, say, flying Spitfires, most of it isn't original. They might have the rubber from the rudder pedals and stuff like that. They put as much original stuff as they can back in, but it's got to be able to keep the pilot alive. So there's a point where they have to just remanufacture.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things they're saying on that airplane workshop is that most of the stuff on them are original, or they try to be original, but over time, those original parts are going to fail, so there's going to be less and less original parts on the aircraft.
Yeah. Well, it's that
There's nothing you can do
ship of
about it.
Theseus problem, isn't it? The
Yeah.
one how, like, if you keep replacing things, like, at what point does it cease being the ship of Theseus?
Yeah.
Well, it's like, you know, my
Yeah.
my grandfather's
Broom, they
axe.
call it.
He had it for I think about 68 years. It had 5 different handles and 7 different heads.
Yeah.
Still the same axe.
Exactly. John also says, "Thanks for sharing the nose art."
Oh, cheers.
Paul says,
See, people like talking about models.
John.
All right. Starting up, sir.
Paul says, "Talking about MPs, my son and his 105mm gun crew were in Pearl Harbor on an invite from the US Marines. He was taking photos with his panorama camera of a warship. Bad mistake."
Yeah, they don't like it.
No.
They have a job. They do it very well.
GM says, "Raf and Rinizaf did nose art as well. I have my wife's portrait painted on the port side engine cowl with Korean girl in Hangul letters. She does approve, etc."
Lovely.
Paul says, "There are Humvees and big fellas with big guns everywhere." Yes. Aaronville says, "I presume kamikaze pilots didn't have parachutes." Strangely enough, they did, in case they had to bail out before they got to a target. GM says, "My landings with an aircraft sadly doesn't match my takeoff. I'm out by 4. Oh, so you've had 4 crashes or bailouts, ejections. Paul says, "Used to work in the Gong in the 60s.
That's Wollongong for those who aren't Australian.
Bob
South of
says,
Sydney.
I thought it was a strip club or something." Bob says, "I believe that there was an Irish kamikaze pilot who celebrated 5 successful missions." Yes. It sounds like the Troubles. Hobby Time
Troubles.
says, "East Kirby, Just Jane. I'm a volunteer there." Nice.
There we go. Thank you. Yeah. I'm pleased to hear it. Hobby Time. Great cause.
Kirby's not that far away, actually. Hobby Time says, "Just Jane has had a completely new rear fuselage." There we go. There we go.
By the way, did you see the news from about the Britain Memorial flight about their Spitfire 16? They've repainted it
All right.
with the letters LNG. So with the roundel, it's a tribute to Mark Long.
Oh,
yeah.
Died,
wonderful.
of course.
Wonderful.
So yeah, one side is with the original Dutch squadron markings, but on the starboard side it says L and NG.
Okay.
So it's really nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
have you guys heard the findings? What caused the air crash in India?
No.
Oh
Was
my
it
God!
Was it John's engineering?
No, Paul sent me a thing. I found this absolutely fascinating. Okay, so
Engineering.
I won't take up too much time, but this is it, and it sounds legit. So, root cause analysis: unintended thrust reduction triggered by the captain's seat sliding backwards under rotation. The seat's aft lock mechanism failed, causing sudden rearward movement. The captain's body weight forcibly pulled the thrust levers to idle. First officer attempted to push the throttles forward, but could not overcome the captain's weight on the controls. Mechanical evidence, wreckage inspection, fractured seat track locking pins. And it's got the part number listed on the captain's seat. Maintenance logs show that the seat mechanism was serviced 11 days prior to the crash for stiff adjustment. No post-repair function was documented. And it goes on with all this stuff. And the language and the way it's written, I think it's absolutely factual because it reads like an ASOR report, Air Safety Occurrence Report.
Yeah.
Isn't that awful? But that would explain it, wouldn't it?
But obviously we can't confirm that is factual because we haven't checked.
No, but what I'm saying is you might have heard it here first.
Yeah.
Make your own mind up about COVID and everything else. Moving on.
Why did you have to go there?
Because millions of people did.
Because, John, you were one of the people sucked into it. John says, do you paint markings instead of decals? I've seen stencils offered. Is that worth the effort? Masks.
I have. I can show you an example if you like. I can grab it.
I received a mask set from some very nice gentleman recently.
Bear with me. I've got two examples.
I received a mask set for the Lysander. I forgive. It means I've got to forgive him for being in the RAF regiment. How did the RAF regiment deal with hotels and things?
Okay.
In what way?
Well, if they're outside the wire on the field, you know,
Yes.
do they sleep in? Do they find the nearest travel lodge or for the night, or do they? Just
For goodness sakes, travel lodge. What are you talking about, man? Premier Inn at
Hilton.
least.
Fucking
You get the
Hilton.
free breakfast. Officers are in the Hiltons.
Premier Inn breakfast is pretty bloody good, I must admit, Gary.
Mm,
My wife said to me earlier today, we were at Costco looking at clothing and stuff. She said, "Oh, we've got to go back to the IWM." And I thought, oh, there was a little bit of deflection just now.
What are you talking about, old boy?
Well, she said my Spitfire shirt is worn out. We need to go back to the Imperial War Museum in the UK to get a new one.
Yeah. Well, you could just order one online. But yeah.
Why would you tell her that? Jesus.
I didn't. She doesn't watch this. You've said that.
No, not wrong. Okay, so here's the two examples of painted markings and stuff. So this is made by a co-presenter on this channel.
Get on with it.
Mondays. This is Matt, not Matt. Listen to me.
Mal
makes these stencils. He made them for me. This is an Australian pilot. Serial number. Everything is painted on this except for the black lines and the stencils. By stencils I mean the smaller markings, but the roundels and the codes are all Mal's work. Wonderful. And the other one I have is all of this is Top Notch, is a UK brand. This is the first thing I painted all the roundels for and everything else. So you've got the gas patch that would change color with mustard gas early in the war. The roundels and all that sort of stuff. The reason I did this one, and I showed Tim this the other week. this is the first go at how these mask sets work and everything else. And as you can see, the advantage is the rivet detail. I don't know if you could zoom in there. Can we zoom in on me for a moment?
Oh, it's all about you, isn't it?
Well, I'm trying to see if I can.
God damn it, Mikey.
So, you can see. Can you? Yeah. So in the roundel, for instance, you could see the rivets, the panel lines, and all that stuff, which would be obliterated by the decals. It's not absolutely perfect, but then again, the painting of these aircraft probably wasn't either. So that they can come out rather well.
You should have done a T instead of a H.
You're one of them.
That would have made sense as well then.
Yeah, but there we go. So the reason I bought that kit, this is a trumpeter. Bloody, what is it?
Defiant.
Help me. Bolt and Pull Defiant. The reason I bought it is to try masks for the first time. So there are advantages and disadvantages. It does take a while, and it is a bit hit and miss. But the fact is, you've got the same risk of it going wrong using decals anyway. So use whatever you're comfortable with. If you can't find what you would really like, you can approach certain companies to get them cut. But I don't have a list to give you.
Right, we're over the 2-hour mark now. John started at about 1 hour and 30, so. I'll just crack through these. Ooh. Aaronville says, Mikey, where did you get the masking for your Airfix Lysander from? From the guy that let the scooter boys into Bryce Norton.
I didn't. I'd have shot them. I told you.
I'm not sure you can say that on YouTube.
I'd have done my damn job.
So yeah, Gary sent them to me, mate.
No, I wouldn't. What I would have done, I would have taken out their tires on their scooters, like in an American cop movie, and they'd have come screeching to a halt, and then I'd have done a book 'em, Dano. I'd have said, "That's of course what I would have done."
I'd have gaffer taped them to the undercarriage and let the pilot take off.
Okay, so that's all I've achieved in 2 hours. I've boxed in the struts for the Victor in brass. So there's a couple of bits to go, and then they'll be painted primer, then silver, aluminium, steel, aluminium, steel, silver.
John, shut up. Duke says, my wife gave me a mask for my birthday. Not a mask set, just a mask. Has it got a zip across the front?
No, it's like the Tontine approach to care.
Aaronville says, haha, Robert. And he says, there was a Bolton and a Paul in Norwich, Norfolk, UK many years ago. There we go. Hobby Time says, this could be a long message. They're restoring parts from the Lancaster from France and Canada to a taxiable condition, then taking the parts of Just Jane so she can taxi, then restoring Just Jane's parts too. Nice.
Okay.
John says, thanks, John. Amazing examples.
Thank you.
Hobby Time says, flyable condition. There we go. Right.
Great to hear, Hobby Time. Thank you for being a volunteer there. I think it's a great cause, and the world needs more Lancasters.
Are you done now? Okay. Right. Before he starts again, and we end up taking 3 hours, don't forget to lube and subscribe, and we'll see you all tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Cool vow, everyone.
Bye.